Hi everyone, my name is Ms. Souders. Today I'm basically just going to give you a brief overview of what's available on my class website. I hope that you find this website really resourceful and beneficial, and let's get started. So on this front page, I basically just have upcoming events and information. So up at the top is things that are really recent. So I just sent out the February newsletter. This is filmed in February, so this is the most up-to-date newsletter I have on my website right now. If you click here, it will send you right to that link to see the newsletter. This newsletter also gets sent out in Thursday folders, but it's just an option to view it on here if you'd like. I also, because it's February and we have our class party coming up for Valentine's, I like to send out a Valentine class list. That way students can write names on their Valentines if they would like. So here's a link to our class list for the Valentine's party, and that also comes home in the Thursday folders as well. Up at the top, I also have reminders of events that are coming up. Or recently just passed. So we just had a teacher work day. On Friday, the new term began. We have a volunteer training as well that just passed. And this week was kindness week. So just what each day represented for the Spirit Week. I also have this little reminder about homework. If you click on this link, the most recent homework schedule will appear. This homework schedule gets stapled to every student's homework journal, but I know sometimes they lose their homework journal or they lose their homework calendar, or they just are not near it at the time. So here's a link to it if you would like to view it online. Sometimes they get questions of what parents or guardians can donate to the classroom. So these are some pretty hot objects in my classroom that go pretty quickly. And if you're looking to donate anything, please feel free to bring in any of these. I would really appreciate it. If you are interested in volunteering at the beginning of the school year, I usually send out a Google form that will just allow you to select which days are most available for you to come in and volunteer, and if you've been trained or not. So to volunteer in my classroom, you do have, well actually just in Valley in general, you do have to be trained. And those trainings though happen throughout the year. So don't feel like you're never going to be able to volunteer. You're more than welcome to. You just have to be trained first. If you for some reason missed back to school night, there is a link to the PowerPoint that I use for back to school night so you don't miss any of the information. I have a little kind of pamphlet here about the use of technology in my classroom, just the general expectations I have for it. Here are some helpful resources. So these all come from Frederick County Public Schools links. Their main page, there's the calendar, the year at a glance, the grading policy, all that good stuff. These links are Valley specific, so we have the school website, our PTA website. These online typing games and math fact practice games come from the Valley Media Center page. I'm really into getting students practicing their typing skills, but unfortunately I can't directly teach them typing skills or the proper way to type, so sometimes just playing games and getting them used to the keyboard is really helpful. And then at the bottom here, I just have the Common Core standards and what I am required to teach as a third grade teacher. At the side, I just have all the upcoming dates or dates that have passed. So currently it's February, but I do have November, October, September here. I typically don't delete them. I don't know why. I guess in case I ever have to go back and see when a date was, but they're all here. That's the home page. At the top, the next tab is the About tab. It's just a little brief overview about me. Sometimes I get questions about what I like and where I went to school. So here's all of that stuff, and then most importantly, a way that you can contact me as well. The next tab is our schedule. Keep in mind this is for the 2018-2019 school year and when I filmed this, so the schedule may or may not look different than this. And it's also color-coded, which is nice, but the version that I give out for back to school night is not usually, because I don't have much access to colored printers. At the top, I also have a newsletter tab, so any of the newsletters I ever give out will be on here if for some reason you need to look back, but the current newsletter for the current month will always be on here. I do give out a paper form as well through your Thursday folder, but I know sometimes it's just easier to look on your phone or on your computer at the newsletter. The newsletter looks generally like this. It kind of has a overview of some upcoming dates, quick reminders. Since it's the winter, we just have a little reminder here about dressing appropriately for the weather. And then we always give out a little overview about what we're doing in each subject area and what you can expect to see, what your child should be doing. And if you're big into QR codes and you have a QR code reader on your phone, you can use that to scan these QR codes, and a website that is mentioned in this writing will appear. I also have a resource tab. This is probably my favorite tab and the most resourceful tab of this whole website. You can either click on this tab itself and it will tell you all of the subjects I have resources for, or you can just scroll over the tab and click on one itself. So real quick, I'll go to math. This resource for Unit 7, which is currently the unit we're on, is actually from the FCPS website, but a lot of parents and educators don't know that it exists. So I just took that and put it on my website. What I like about this resource is it gives a overview of what your child is learning in this unit, what that actually means and looks like as a third grader. It kind of explains that in depth, and then some games or some websites you can use to help your child at home. You are also obviously more than welcome to reach out to me for any help if you have a question about a standard too. Reading's the same way. I have a brief overview about what we're doing in the current reading unit, and then I have every standard explained, questions that you can ask your child at home relating to that standard, and then what kind of text you can be using to help your child with this standard. So for example, in 3RL2, which is your child is learning to determine the moral of a fable, myth, or folktale, it will tell you some examples of text that you can be reading, and one of those is, I'm sure you might be familiar with, The Tortoise and the Hare, or The Boy Who Cried Wolf, all that good stuff. For writing, usually I include some sort of video to give you a glance at what type of writing we're currently working on, and at the bottom I also include this checklist. So this checklist is the actual checklist that your student will be using in class to edit and revise their writing with a partner. And so this is an example of the opinion writing checklist. This would be what I would expect students to have in their writing. Science and social studies look very similar as far as how they're set up on my website. I have the overview of what question we're going to be looking at, kind of what we call the deriving question for our unit, and then just a little video of what we're going to be doing. I also have a homework tab here, so if you're interested in looking at the homework calendar at any time, I know sometimes students lose, like I said, their homework journal or whatever, so it's always listed on here. The homework calendar will include every single day. It's stapled to their homework journal, and it includes some reminders. For this year, Tuesdays and Thursdays were the same homework, and then Mondays and Wednesdays were just problem-solving tasks that changed. Then last but not least, I have a contact page, so you can send me an email directly from this page using this these boxes right here, but my email is also at the top if you just want to email me directly. There's also other methods of communication, so I use Remind sometimes to just send out quick announcements. Here's my email again, phone number to my classroom, and then I also use Twitter just to this is actually my Twitter page, just to kind of tell the community what I'm up to in my classroom. And so that is basically it for my website. I really hope that you find this website helpful. I spend a lot of time on it, so I'm hoping that it is as beneficial as I think it is. But please let me know if you have any questions ever. Don't hesitate to reach out.